Hey everybody, David here, and I am back with another video. Hopefully y'all are doing well, and just a little heads up on this video, I'm a little nasally. It's springtime allergies, I guess you could say, and I'm also running in the finals this week and next week before I get a little break before the summer semester. But I just want to let you all know, if you hear me, I'm a little nasally. It's probably from being a little tired from studying with finals, and then also the pollen in the air right now. This springtime, it always gets to me. But enough about that. Today's video, we are going to be talking about 6 compliment getting fragrances. And these 6 over here are more on the fresher side, or more versatile fragrances. And I wanted to let you all know, when I talk about compliments you're going to be getting from people that you know. It's not going to be usually some random stranger off the street, random person. I've never had that happen to me before. Somebody pull me, grab me, oh my gosh, your fragrance smells so good, off the street. It's usually an acquaintance, somebody I know, a friend, a family member, and they're going to tell you that the fragrance smells good and all that jazz. So these are solely for that compliment factor, but some of them, you know, they have other facets to them. But today I'm talking about those compliments. I know everybody loves to get a compliment too on their fragrances, and these 6 got you covered in that aspect. Now, I just want to let you all know, I'm trying to produce more content for you all. I'm trying to do some YouTube shorts, some different content from these videos, and I want to give back to the community. You guys all have been supported. We're very close to 100 subscribers, excuse me. So make sure to hit that subscription button if you have not yet, if you enjoy my content, with that thumbs up button. And yeah, let's hop into these 6 complimenting fragrances. First one on this list that we're going to be talking about today is Nova from the house I really enjoy. One of my favorite niche houses, and this is probably my favorite freshie from the line. From the masculine signature collection, it is no other than Percival from Parfums de Marly. Stunner. This one, I have nothing but good things to say. Oh, this DNA. This is, in my opinion, the best version of this DNA. You got the Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, overpriced in my opinion. You got the Mont Blanc Legend. That one's okay, but for a cheap price tag, that one's a very good option. But if you got the money, I'm going to be going with Percival, plain and simple. It's a versatile fragrance. It's on the fresher side of things. I enjoy wearing this. I got some backup bottles of this too. This stuff is up my alley for sure. This one, it's going to be fresh, it's going to be spicy, it's going to be citrus, aquatic, and woody. Those are going to be your accords in this. And then you got, at the top, you got some aromatic notes, bergamot, mandarin orange, and pink pepper. Heart, it's going to get a little bit more into that lavender, coriander, geranium, jasmine, violet, and then it's got some cinnamon. And then in that base, you got some musk, you got some pepper, you got some spices. That's where the spiciness comes in. As the fragrance dries down, it's going to get a little bit more spicy. Off that top, it's going to be a little bit more fresh, a little bit more citrusy. It's got a little, like I said, it's got the spiciness with the spicy notes, but that cinnamon gives it a little spice too in the mid. And as you can tell, I get a lot of lavender from this. There's a lot of flower notes, or floral notes, excuse me, in this fragrance in the mid, but I get a lot of that lavender with this. And then off the top, I am going to get a little bit of that pink pepper, but it's more of the citruses off top. So plain and simple, very versatile fragrance. Love wearing this in the spring and summertime. Percival from PDM, always would recommend it. One of my favorite fragrances from the house. Second one on the list, this is a cheapie. So with this list, I wanted to give you guys a variety of some cheapie designers, maybe some in-between designers, so not too expensive, not too much. And then I want to give some high-end fragrances, some niche fragrances, some love. So I wanted to go to the whole spectrum in this video for you all. So next one we're going to be talking about is from the house of Jimmy Choo, and it's Jimmy Choo Man Aqua. And you know, I was very surprised by this fragrance. You know, I didn't think much of it when I wore it. It was giving me a few compliments here and there. It was like, oh my gosh, what are you wearing? I was very surprised. I will say performance on this isn't the best in the world. The Percival has way better performance, of course, and projects a little bit longer. But this Jimmy Choo Man Aqua, for this type of scent, it does last a decent amount of time, and that projection is there too. If I had to choose any fragrance from this line, it'd be this Choo Man Aqua here. And I've only tried a few from the line too, I forgot to mention. So this is going to be more on that aquatic side, more citrusy, fresh, spicy, and woody. Same accords as the Percival, as you can tell. But this one's going to have some grapefruit and cardamom on top. That cardamom is going to get a little sweetness off the top for you all. The grapefruit's not a grindy grapefruit. It's more of a smooth, kind of on the sweeter side of things with that grapefruit. And then in the heart, you got some clary sage, geranium, and marine notes. And then in the base, you got some amber patchouli. And then that's what's really going to help it kind of last a little bit longer with the amber going on in there. And I will say the marine notes last quite a while in this fragrance. And this is a freshy, compliment pulling fragrance for sure. You can wear this in the gym too. Very nice gym scent, I will say. And for the spring and summertime, this does very nicely in the air. So Choo Man Aqua, second one on this list. And you know, this is no particular order. Forgot to mention that. I don't like to pigeonhole fragrances into certain orders. I just pick and choose from the side over here and say, hey, this is the next one we're talking about. Next one is from, again, one of my favorite niche houses. I don't have to say it. It's got a designer feel to it, kind of like the PDM, some people would say, but I don't feel like that. I feel like, I will say, a lot of these fragrances, get them from discounters. Get them from discounters, sample. I always mention that before. Get your sample, try it out, and then if you really like it, try it at a discounter. And if you want to support the brand, go for it. Spend the money on it. You know, I'm all for that as well. But just make smart decisions and make sure you're getting something that you want to wear, okay? So, like, going back to this fragrance, this is from the house of Bond number 9, and this is Lafayette Street. This one, oh man, so versatile. I really, really, really like this one. I really enjoy it. Lafayette Street. The bottle's kind of slick too, as well. They got a new fragrance coming out here soon. I'll have to get my nose on it. But we're talking about the Lafayette Street here. So it's sweet, fresh, floral, fruity, and spicy. And this one, I will say overall, it's got some bergamot, floral notes, ambergris, apple, tonka bean, ambroxan, coriander, dry woods, and vanilla. You're going to get the sweetness from the vanilla. The vanilla is going to be more at the base, so as it dries down. At the top, you're going to get some of that bergamot. And you're going to get that apple up top as well. And then as the fragrance dries down, you're going to get more of those floral notes, okay? Floral notes are going to come out. Those dry woods is going to come out a little bit more. But that tonka bean is going to give it a little bit of sweetness. That apple is going to stay around. This one's a nicely long-lasting fragrance. It projects. It's got everything that I want in a fragrance for sure. And overall, this one's a very versatile one. You can wear this all year round. It's going to last longer than the Choo. It's probably on par with the Percival, I'd say, off my skin. But that apple is a very nice apple scent in here. And you're going to get some of that spiciness towards the bottom, like towards the base when the thing's drying down, of course. But you do get some off top as well. But that bergamot, that apple mixing off top, and then as it dries down, the floral notes. I cannot go wrong with this. Very versatile, like I kind of mentioned before. And it's going to be in my rotation this spring and summer. So Bond number 9, Lafayette Street, number 3 on this list. And here we go. We got a cheapie. So this is one that's it's mind-blowing how good it is for the price you can get it at. And it is no other than Missoni Wave. This one's got a magnetic cap. Very nicely done. You can hold it by the cap too. That's a plus. So Missoni Wave right here. This one is going to smell like Chanel Allure Homme Sport, and it's going to be smelling like the Versace fragrance. What's the name of the Versace? Excuse me. Why am I blanking on this? Versace Pour Homme, sorry. So Chanel Allure Homme Sport and Versace Pour Homme. It's going to be in that realm. It's kind of like you combine the two. They made a baby and they came out with Missoni Wave. Let's scoot these over. I need to get better with the bottle alignment. I keep watching my old videos and not very good with the bottle alignment. Need to get better with that. But it's going to be fresh, aquatic, citrusy, creamy, and sweet. And the creamy and sweet aspect, you're going to get a little bit more from that Chanel Allure Homme Sport. And then that freshness, that aquaticness, that's going to be more from that Versace Pour Homme, okay? But in the top, you got the mandarin orange, marine notes. And then in the base, you got some lavender, you got some clary sage, you got some rosemary. And then in the base, you got that vanilla, you got the oak moss, and you got patchouli, and you got some vetiver. So you got some woods in the base. This one, for the price you can get it at, is a no-brainer in my opinion. This is a gym scent too. You can wear this to the gym as well. And performance is very nice. Projection is very nice on this one as well. Out of everything, I would always recommend Missoni Wave when people are looking to get into fragrances, because it's a nice freshie. It's got some creaminess to it. It's got some sweetness, but it's also on the fresher side of things. And I have nothing bad to say about Missoni Wave here. I just wish Missoni would come out with more fragrances. I enjoy at least 2 I've tried from the house. But this one overall has nice qualities to it for the price you can get it at. So Missoni Wave. Next one we're going to be talking about is from the house of Buari, and it is Buari Man Glacial Essence. So this one, it's not going to be anything crazy with this one. So this one's a little bit musky, I will say. And it's also synthetic, aquatic, woody, and spicy, and it's fresh. Off the top, you're going to get some juniper berry, geranium, and ginger. And I will say I get a lot of that geranium and ginger off the top when we're talking about this fragrance here. Juniper berry kind of gives you a big punch. And then you got some sandalwood, and you got some orris in here. And then in the base, you got some clearwood, musk, and cypress. And the clearwood and the musk is going to be around for a while. And I was really surprised at this fragrance. I thought it died off my skin, but it was lasting at least a good... I don't know if it was a skin scent, but somebody could smell it off of me with 7 to 8 hours in, and I was really surprised. The muskiness really comes out. It's going to dominate, but at the top, you're going to get a lot of that juniper berry. You're going to get some ginger, and it gives you a sweet freshness off that top with those two combining. And then as it dries down, it's going to be more musky, but you do get some of that sandalwood, and it's an appealing sandalwood. And again, this is another gem scent. This is one that's going to work very nicely for you on a warm day with the Missoni Wave here and the Jimmy Choo Man Aqua. These 3 are kind of all in similar in price ranges on discounters. So highly recommend these 3 fragrances for that spring and summertime to get you some compliments. And then these 2 niche fragrances, going back to them, they do the job just as well. But Buari Man Glacial Essence, it's a mouthful, is a very appealing, easygoing scent that nobody's going to get offended by it. A very good office scent as well. I'd be wearing that in the office. And if you like your musky scents, this one's a good one to get a sample of and try it out, or go to a store and try it out. Last but not least, this is going to be a niche fragrance, and this is the only one I have from this house. I really want to test more, see what they got to offer. And this is no other than Suspiro Vibr by Suspiro. So this one's a versatile scent. I don't like the bottle. The bottle just messes with my fingers. It's kind of like a furry bottle, I guess you could say. I'm not a fan of those. But Suspiro Vibr right here. It's got a nice cap, and they're related to Xerjoff. Xerjoff, I think, bought them, and they are making fragrances in the Suspiro house for them, or they handed it off to somebody else. They just own something. I don't know the whole story. Don't quote me on that, but they got some relation to Xerjoff, I think. But this one, a very good compliment puller and very versatile. Citrus, fresh, floral, woody, and fruity. Off the top, you got some grapefruit, you got some jasmine, you got some bergamot. You're going to get that grapefruit. It's a little bit on the grindy side, but it's smooth as well. It's kind of a 50-50, I will say, to my nose. And then the heart notes, you got ginger, and then you got some powdery notes. And then in the base, you got some musk, you got patchouli, you got amber, you got cedarwood, you got some iris. I will say in this fragrance, I get a lot of that patchouli from the start. I get a lot of that musk from the start. I get a lot of that cedarwood from the start, and I get that amber. Overall, I will say, as the fragrance dries down, it gets more into that fruity aspect. But that whole time, to my nose, I'm going to get a lot of that patchouli, okay? I'm going to get a lot of that amber, and I'm getting that iris kind of mixing in. The iris is just a little bit on the outskirts of the fragrance. I will say it's not the vocal point of this. But at the top, that citrus fresh feel, that's coming from that grapefruit and that bergamot. And then on the floral side of things, it's got magnolia in it. I forgot to mention that with the jasmine and then the powdery notes. And that kind of gets it all intertwined. But this is a all year round fragrance in my opinion. Even though it's fresh, even though it's got citrus in it, it will work at any occasion, any time in my opinion. And I enjoy pulling this out from time to time when I want to get some good compliments and I want people in my good graces and I want to smell good around people. So Suspiro Vibr to end off this list. Hopefully I can try more from the house. But yeah, here's your 6, everybody. Let me know in the comments down below what your fresh compliment pullers are. I'll be very interested to hear. And let me know if you tried out any of these scents on the list and what you think about them. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. and I will see you on the next one.